Impact Wrestling had their turning point, Impact Plus special pay per view, whatever you want to call it, last night from Newcastle in the UK. This was a part of their UK tour. They taped it and they decided to air this for us, for the fans across the world. And I must say, this was a excellent show, top to bottom. Not really storyline driven matches for the most part. But like I said, past Impact reviews. Impact gets a pass because they're not doing any more TV tapings or anything like that for the rest of the year. They're just doing specials that will air on Access, be their TV show. They got the AAA show coming up soon, the joint show with AAA, the IPWF, and they got final stuff going on. The Chicago tapings will finally start next week. Just be 2 episodes in Chicago. So that's where Impact currently stands before transition over to TNA. So let's kick this show on the road. Turning Point opened with Josh Alexander and Eric Young, Team Canada 2.0 versus Subculture. Now, Subculture is a team that we've seen in Impact over the course of the year. I like them a lot. They're very good, and I think they should sign them. They really should, because they gave them the belts, and because they couldn't get into America, they took the belts back. They Rascals beat them for the titles. They can only get into Canada and the UK, and they were only part of the Canada shows. So Impact needs more tag teams. TNA needs more tag teams going into the TNA era, and Subculture, along with Danny Luna, who we'll talk about later, would just be a great addition, and would definitely benefit tag team division. Eric Young was super over in this match. They were chanting his name. They were doing the song. They were Eric Young, Eric Young. Super over Eric Young in the United Kingdom. Love to see it. Like I said, very good match. Was not bad whatsoever. And I think the tag team of Josh and Eric Young kind of just came out of nowhere. But then again, it does make sense because they're both Canadian, and Eric Young was a part of Team Canada, and Scott is real life friends with Josh and Eric. So if they are going to do a Team Canada 2.0, it would definitely have to be starting with these two guys. Now, I don't really think that this needs to be a thing, but then again, Impact needs tag team. So we'll see how it goes. Alexander hit Mark Andrews with a sadistic looking C4 spike to get the win for Josh and Eric Young. That C4 spike is absolutely brutal. You can find a clip of it somewhere or watch the match over, skip to the finish, whatever. That C4 spike was brutal. Next, we get Tom Hannafan talking about the signing of Leon Slater, who's a great addition to the roster, by the way. No guy is hotter on the independent scene. Well, I guess he's no longer on the independent scene, but at the time, there was no guy hotter on the indies than Leon Slater in the UK and in America. Guy's tearing it up everywhere he goes. So rightfully deserved. We got a quick little word from Leon Slater talking about how he used to watch TNA while he was sitting at his mom's work because no one could watch him at the time. Something along those lines. So it's really cool to see all these TNA stories from other people like Osprey and Leon Slater. It's really cool to see that TNA did or should I say, was an important part of people's lives growing, including me myself. So just to hear another story like that, it's very cool to see, very cool to hear. Next, we get Giselle Shaw and Alex Windsor. And this is what I wrote down for my notes. Sign Alex Windsor. She is fantastic. I've seen her before. I'm pretty sure she did some stuff for Impact a couple years ago. Um, when they were doing some tapings at in St. Clair College in Windsor. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen her before, and she is 10 times better than the last time I saw her. She's absolutely fantastic. Um, Scott, pull out the book, pull out another contract, get Alex Windsor. He's fucking insanely good. He's powerful. She's good in the ring. She's physical. It's literally somebody perfect for that division, for that knockouts. But Giselle does get the win over Windsor, as she should. I don't think you need to have a pinned by somebody who's contractually obligated to Impact. And I know people are gonna be like, "Well, what about Ospreay? Ospreay's different. Okay, leave Ospreay alone. He can pin whoever he wants." But yeah, nice solid match. Giselle gave Windsor a lot. Windsor got a lot of offense in on her own. To not completely, very competitive. Let's just leave it at that. Very competitive. Good stuff. Then we get a Simon Miller cutting a fantastic promo on Joe Hendry. Calls Joe Hendry soft because they have beef because he says something on the internet that Joe didn't like, which is very common just in general public nowadays. And people are so upset and triggered by stuff people say on the internet. He also says he does not believe in Joe Hendry. Instead, he believes in himself. What a guy. What a promo. Then we get Rich Swann and Trey Miguel in an X Division match. This is exactly what X Division means. They had a really good match. Now, I'm not trying to be mean here whatsoever, but to me, does it look like Rich Swann is like gaining a little bit of weight? I'm not trying to be mean whatsoever. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just so used to seeing Rich, being skinny, shape or whatever. But to me, he kind of looks like he's got a belly going on. But he can still move and he can still do all the things he's known to doing. And Rich Swann got the dub with a middle rope 450 splash. But Trey did get his shoulder up. They made a point to point that out. So I don't know if this is going to lead to another match between the two, or is Rich going to get a tag team partner? Because Trey is partners with Wentz. So I don't know. We're going to get another singles match. We're going to get a tag team match where Rich gets a partner. Maybe we can get a Willie Mack return, because Willie Mack and Rich are tag team partners for a long time. Who knows? Very good match between Rich Swann and Trey Miguel. Interesting to see where this leads. Then we get a Danny Luna promo, cutting a promo on Jordan Grace, says that she can't, ever since she's been in Impact with Subculture, she can't say anything without people immediately comparing her to Jordan Grace. Rightfully so. There's a lot of comparisons. So this leads to Danny Luna versus Jordan Grace. I saw a very Jordan Grace quote tweeted something on Twitter that I saw about this match, and I'm not gonna say what it was on here because I don't know if I can or not due to monetization. But let's just say that they were referring to women slapping meat in this match, which is exactly what happened. This was very like, who was it? It was Miro and Hobbs, I believe, The crowd was chanting meat throughout the match. This match reminded me a lot of that because Jordan Grace and Danny Luna are by far two of the strongest women in the wrestling business today. And they had a physical, beat slapping type of match. That's the best way I can describe it. I mean, they literally had a headlock on each other to begin the match, and they went outside, continuing that headlock to almost a 10 count before they got back in the ring, and they just had a hoss fight, which is something you don't really see too often as far as like women matches go. Is a hoss fight. These two women beat the shit out of each other, and it was awesome to see. I really hope that, like I said with Subculture earlier, with Webster and Andrews, that them three get signed to TNA. I don't know if it's a visa thing is the reason why they can't sign with TNA, but you gotta get them over for some more shows. They're great together. They have a look, their entrance video, like the whole Subculture package is absolutely fantastic. And not to mention, if you guys missed my Impact review, Thursday's episode, where Danny Luna power bombed Moose with just a little bit of help, that's still impressive to do. Danny Luna is so great. His subculture is so great. I want them back. Sure, please. Please get them back. But yeah, awesome match between these two girls. Danny Luna has a lot of potential. And Jordan Grace raised her arm after the match was over because Jordan Grace got the dub here, as she should, because she's the number one contender. She doesn't need to be losing any matches. And yeah, that was that. Jordan Grace got the dub here, as she should. Next, we had Simon Miller of Cultaholic. Well, is it Cultaholic he's affiliated with, or is it Well Culture? I get all those websites confused, and it's 1000% my fault because there's Cultaholic, and then there's What Culture, and then there's Wrestle Talk over there. So I don't really know which one exactly. Let's see. He is part of it. What Culture? Got it. I thought it was Cultaholic. I probably was thinking Cultaholic because Cultaholic was a sponsor of the Turning Point pay per view. Very odd that they had a what what culture guy have a match on a show that's being sponsored by Cultaholic. Maybe they're friendly companies. I don't know. But anyways, so we have Simon Miller versus Joe Hendry. Miller is in the ring. He says that he's more popular than all the wrestlers in the back, and he says that he makes more money than everybody in the back because of that YouTube money. And then Miller, it looks like he's about to go say something else, but like as he's like lifting up the microphone like hits the middle rope, and he drops the mic, and the crowd was chanting, "You fucked up," at him. I thought that shit was hilarious, and it looked a little awkward. I don't know if he was meant to do that or not, but it was funny. Then we get a Joe Hendry music video for Simon Miller. He makes references to Simon Miller looking like Mr. Clean, and that he's gonna reveal a photo from his past. And it turns out that photo was Simon Miller in 2012 with a full head of hair, and Hendry was making fun of him, saying that he was a long lost member of Nickelback or something along those lines. That shit was hilarious. I got a good laugh out of it. If you haven't seen it, try to find it somewhere. It was pretty funny. Um, Hendry did win this match, as he should. He shouldn't be Simon Miller. I don't care how popular Simon Miller. They did this one spot where Hendry was chasing Miller around the ring, and then he gets in the ring, and then Hendry goes to slide in to chase him, but he fakes a slide in, and as he fakes it, Miller went to go get an elbow drop, but Hendry uh, stopped himself for going all the way in the ring, and it made Miller look like an idiot, which I thought was hilarious. Good fun match, didn't last too long. It didn't really need to go that long either, so it was good for what it was. The crowd was really into it. Nothing much else to say about it. Then we get Tom Hannafin. Almost said Tom Holland for some reason. Tom Hannafin is breaking down what happened with the gut check. That happened over the UK tour, and we got confirmation. The winners of gut check were Harley Hudson and Mike D. Some dude from Belgium, I believe. Name is Mike D. Won the men's side gut check, and Harley Hudson won the side of gut check. And I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of Mike D before, ever, and I think his name is stupid. This guy a name, and I've heard of Harley Hudson before. I don't think I've seen her. I might have. I have heard her name before, um, plenty of times. So, hey, they didn't get Impact contracts. They got like developmental contracts to work at the newly opened training facility in Windsor that's ran by Josh, the Machine Guns, and Scott. So don't expect to see them in the future. Well, I want to say the future, but don't expect to see them anytime soon, is I should say. Then we get Moose and Myers versus Chris Sabin and Frankie Kazarian. Alex Shelley was injured on the UK tour, so that's why Kazarian is taking his place here. Hopefully Shelley will be okay before his big match with Moose at TNA Hard to Kill. Just a safety precaution is why they pulled him from the show and the rest of the tour. No, not can't complain about that. Wrestler's health is first. So this match was supposed to have been a little teaser because Shelley and Moose are in the match and they're facing each other Hard to Kill. I thought this match did a good job of getting Moose more over because Moose looked fantastic. Listen, Moose is my favorite guy in Impact Wrestling. He's my favorite. There's no one in that company that I like more than Moose. Moose is my guy. And I thought they did a good job presenting him in a way. And it does, stink just a little bit because he's teaming with Myers. And for so many years, Myers has been booked like, like a guy who just fucking sucks. But Myers over the years since coming to Impact again, he's definitely this is definitely his best run in any company that he's ever had. So. But Moose did get the win here for his team. He pinned Frankie Kazarian. No need to pin Sabin here whatsoever. So Frankie getting pinned was definitely the right call, and Moose being the one to pin him is definitely the right call. So it gives Moose over. He looks strong ahead of his match at Hard to Kill against Alex Shelley. Next, we get semi-main event. Trinity defending her Knockouts World Championship against Deonna Purrazzo. Now, this is a match that I have criticized in my last review because I'm trying to think of why is Deonna getting a championship match against Trinity. Last time they had a match was at Emergence. They had a good match. And I'm not complaining about the match quality because their match at Slammiversary was really good. Their match at Emergence was also really good. And I thought this match was the best match of the three, in my opinion. But why is she getting a championship match? She's 0-2 against Trinity. The last time we saw her in a ring, her and Tasha Steelz lost a knockouts title opportunity. So I don't really know why. I don't even think they kind of explained why she got another opportunity because she lost her rematch clause. But hey, then again, I give them a pass because it is a special show for the UK fans, and you want to have a big time knockouts match in front of the UK fans. And listen, she's not gonna face Jordan Grace at Turning Point. She could have. I mean, who else, like women wise, was on that tour for Impact wise? Bill, Jordan, and Deanna, right? That was the only three women on the tour that I can recall. Well, besides Danny Luna, not really a regular on Impact, but yeah. So I mean, you know what? It's fine. This gets a pass. Special event for the UK fans. It's whatever. And to me, I think the whole sole purpose of this match is what happened at the end. So Deanna hits a Queen's Gambit on Trinity, and she kicks out, and then Deanna gets frustrated with Gale, and then Trinity ends up tapping Deanna out, and then Deanna attacks Trinity after the match. Then Gale gets involved, and Gale and Deanna go at it, and then Gale hits Deanna with the Eat Defeat, and that's it. So the whole purpose of this match is to set up a match between Gale and Deanna at Hard to Kill. Um, could there have been a better way to set up the feud? Sure. But then again, they're not really doing any more TV tapings for the rest of the year. Serious TV tapings, I should say. So it is what it is. It's fine. Am I excited for Gail and Deanna? You bet your sweet cheeks I am. You know, there's always been one woman that Deanna has talked about wrestling the most is Gail Kim, and vice versa. Gail wants to wrestle Deanna. Deanna wants to wrestle Gail. It's something they've both talked about in interviews and Q&As, etc., over the years. So, listen, is it going to be a passing of the torch moment? Who knows? But I am excited. I can't wait for the match because Gail, you know, she doesn't wrestle often. She's retired like 25 million times. But we saw her at the 1000 episode of Impact, and she looked great. So it's not like she's a bum or anything like that in the ring nowadays. She's not. She's really good. Sure, she's a little rusty, but you're gonna have that. So I'm excited for the match between Deanna and Gail. Now they haven't announced it, but I'm just assuming this is where this is going. So yeah, good stuff here as far as like the execution of the finish and the after stuff. Main event time. Eddie Edwards versus Will Ospreay. Now this again was just a match to be on the show for the UK fans. Not gonna shit on it. They did try to play it up a little bit with, you know, Eddie saying that he's the first ever Gaijin to win the Pro Wrestling Noah Championship, which is I believe it's called the GHC Championship. And Ospreay was saying that he's the first Gaijin to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So these two guys are the first Gaijins to win World Heavyweight Championships and two of the most prestigious companies in Japan. But that's pretty cool. And they did also play up a little bit of history between the two because during the Impact's UK tour back in like 2014 or 2015 or whatever, the Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards faced Will Ospreay and somebody else I forgot in a tag team match. So they did play that up a little bit as far as like history between Ospreay and Edwards. So they tried their best to build it up as much as they could for with what little they had. And I appreciate that. But as far as this match goes, my God, this guy Ospreay could not have a bad match. I do still think the Speedball match was better, but these two matches were just completely different style matches. and this match was still very good. I still think this is a 5-star worthy match. But this was more of a physical. Because listen, Osprey. A lot of people just think Osprey just does flips and moves and stuff like that, which is complete bullshit. Okay, yes, he was just a flippy guy. What, 2016, 2015, but it's probably since 2017 until now, he's really evolved himself as a wrestler. He can wrestle multiple styles. He can wrestle stiff. He can be a brawler. He can be a high flyer, etc., etc. Technical. We saw that with Zack Sabre Jr. This guy can work all styles. He's that good. And this match was a banger. And this also, and I'm not just praising Osprey. Eddie Edwards was fantastic in this match, though. Eddie doesn't really have a lot of charisma per se for me. But he's a damn good worker. He puts on fantastic matches. His match with Alexander at Bound for Glory last year, his best of 5 series with Michael Elgin, his match with Moose, his match with Eric Young, where he lost the title to Eric. This guy, Eddie Edwards, can put on banger after banger if he wants to. And I thought him and Osprey clicked really well to give the fans around the world a fantastic main event match. Can't ask for anything better than this. Go out of your way to see this match. I highly recommend it. Great stuff here between Edwards and Osprey. I would love to see them do it again in a TNA ring. There's a lot of guys I want to see Osprey wrestle in TNA. Sabin, Moose, Edwards again, Speedball again, Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Bay. Endless matches, in my opinion, that Osprey could have. Straight bangers. But Osprey does get the win as expected in a fantastic match. Like I said, go out of your way to watch. And that was Turning Point. Very good show. For what it was, UK fans killed it. Very interactive throughout the whole show. Can't ask nothing more of the UK fans. And that will do it for the review. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like, sub, comment, notification bell, all that good stuff. If you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys for either Power Struggle review or Crown Jewel. See which one I can get. One of those two. Peace out.